Think presets are cheating? Think again. When used the right way, presets aren't shortcuts. They're powerful tools to speed up your workflow and explore creative looks. Today I'll show you how to use them without making your photos look overcooked. Hi, I'm Zach, and in this video we're digging into Lightroom Classic presets. We'll look at presets and what they actually do, how to apply them the right way, and how to make your own presets. Also, how to avoid the most common beginner mistake, which is using presets instead of learning to edit. Let's get into it. Presets are just saved editing adjustments. That's all. They're not magic filters. They're simply a collection of slider settings that have been saved under a name. When you apply a preset, Lightroom automatically adjusts things like exposure, contrast, color grading, and more instantly. They're perfect for speeding up repetitive edits, exploring different looks, and creating a consistent style. But don't forget, every photo is different. A preset might look amazing on one image and awful on another if the lighting or white balance is off. Okay, let's jump into the Develop module if you're not already. And notice over on the left, if you do not see this panel that's on the left, you may have this triangle button here not hit, and you have to click it to get the flyout to show up. You can also, if it is hidden, then when you hover over this area, it will come out for you to click options, but when you pull your mouse away, it'll disappear again. I like to just leave it out. If you've got a wide screen, it's still usually plenty of room. If you don't see the presets immediately, you may have to open the drop down, and here you can see the entire list of sorted presets. I've got one open already. You may end up having to open it, and if you notice, it's applying that preset as soon as I hover over it. I haven't selected this. If I move my mouse, it reverts back. But if we want to apply a preset, all you do is click it. Now that preset's applied, we're going to undo that. And I want you to watch the exposure and contrast and all of the sliders over here, and watch those adjust as I click on this. So it's applied all those settings, but I haven't clicked it yet. And then when I click it, it makes all the adjustments for me over here. So use presets as a starting point. I like where this started. I do think I'd want to make some changes from here. And so from here, I would go ahead and adjust exposure to my liking, maybe down a little bit. I also may add a mask or adjust white balance. There we go. That give us a cooler look by using the white balance dropper. But using presets to just explore a starting point is a fine way, especially when you're beginning, just to give you an idea of what the photo could be. I wouldn't recommend just mass applying a preset and then exporting it, uploading it to social media. Make it fit what you're trying to convey or what story you're trying to tell with that photo. Okay, once you've found a look that you love on your photo and you've made some of your own adjustments to it, why not save it? To save your preset, all you do is go to the upper right hand corner of the left sidebar and find this plus button. Choose Create Preset. Here you can give it a name. You can choose what you want to include. If you made changes to everything, then you want to include all these adjustments. Each one of these categories applies to one of these panels over here in the right pane. So since we've applied a previous preset and we're going to make this one our own preset, what we're going to do is we'll call this the flower 1. This isn't probably a preset I'll save in the long run, but what we'll do here is we'll create it, and notice it shows up right here under user presets, flower 1. So if I go to my next photo of the same flower, I can get the same look by clicking on flower 1. Now both of my photos look or have the same look to them. This works really well in a lot of situations. For the purposes of these little tiny macro flowers, these flowers are only about the size of a dime, then it's really not that important. But if you were trying to make all the photos of a specific event look the same, this is where presets like this come in really powerful. As long as you're on the same side of the room, similar lighting, You could potentially apply a single preset to hundreds of photos and get them all with the same look to produce to a client in a short amount of time. Here's a few quick tips for using presets the right way. 1, don't stack presets unless you know exactly what's being changed. They can override each other and change the look entirely. 2, use presets as a base, then fine-tune the adjustments in white balance and contrast for the image you're specifically working on. 3, make versions for different lighting. 1 for golden hour, 1 for cloudy, 1 for indoors, etc. And 4, test them on raw files. Presets behave differently based on the file type, specifically between JPEGs and RAW files. And most importantly, don't feel like a fraud for using presets. Every pro I know uses them to speed things up. The real skill is knowing when to use them and when to tweak them, or when not to use them at all. So now you know how presets work and how to use them wisely and somewhat sparingly. Also, you know how to build your own. In the next video and the ones shortly after that, we'll be diving into color and contrast editing, how to make your photos pop without overdoing it. We'll also break down vibrance, saturation, HSL, and beginner-friendly look at the tone curve. If you're finding the series helpful, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments if you've found a favorite preset or if you're still struggling to make them work. I'd love to help out.